And then we're gonna go again, guys, boys. This is the Prime versus Rave here in the I-League Qualifier C. I'm not even alone. I brought a co-caster in who you might know actually from casting with Cheever. It's G Advance. And yeah, this is pretty much the last game here on this channel for today. I mean, we're gonna be later online with Battle of Central Europe, but for the I-League stuff, that's pretty much it. And if my browser was working, I could even look into exact names of the games, but it's not happening at the moment. G Advance, are you with me?
Yep, I am with you. Stop pretending people know who I am, though. Don't do that.
Oh well, some people actually might know you from the old Chiva cast. I mean, you casted quite some tournaments in the past, at least. Haven't seen you much around though lately.
Yeah, haven't had much to do. Been busy with other stuff, so thought I'd come on here though. This seems fun, and yeah, I want to see how Rave do in this as well, because I haven't seen much of the Prime, but Rave have seemed to be pretty strong recently, doing a lot of weird stuff though.
Yep, Rave. Well, the latest tournament Rave played was the MPGL, where they played just amazingly. I have to say, the Prime, they're always up for like a surprise, but when it comes to, I don't know, the chances, then definitely Rave being the favorite here. Unfortunately, as I said, my browser completely crashed. I can't open a single site at the moment, which means I can't even look at the betting percentages at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's like 70-30 at best, maybe even more for Rave. And of course Rave also has like more fans on their side. They have a huge fan base.
Yeah, that's something you always have to take into account with bets. I really like whenever the really popular teams are playing a team that's basically as good as them, like Na'Vi playing anybody, I'll just bet on the other team, because I know there's going to be a huge number of fanboys throwing their rares on Na'Vi no matter what. But yeah, I would say in general, you know, Rave have been very solid lately, and you know, they're a team that's probably got more to their name than Prime, certainly. But I like their draft so far. Ogre Magi plus Slark, extra attack speed on Slark, never a bad thing. Plus Ogre Magi, pretty much the support right now. He's absolutely everywhere, and for good reason. He's incredibly strong, not just in ability, but his stats are ridiculous as well.
Yep, absolutely. And someone in the chat is actually asking, did Mushi really join Meneski? No, he will not join Meneski. He will rebuild eHome, but on Saturday, actually there are multiple little events up. First of all, there is in Seattle, there is the Red Bull event, where I will be even helping out as a German caster, like the first time in, I don't know, 5 months or so that I'm actually casting in my native language. But for the others, there will be the Sengalore tournament. Sengalore Games tournament, I think that's how it's called, and Mushi will join them in Eski. Either way, we have to look into the draft because they're really advanced, and we are not advanced on this one for sure. We have the Ogre Magi as well as the Slark and Magnus, a big fat ultimate already waiting there, and of course on the other side, not much less. The Duza, like a pretty greedy pick, and a Batrider. That's something that Rave picks quite often, and they also secure the Vengeful Spirit, so there is no swap disjoint of the Lasso. We have to see if Prime comes up with something else to somehow counteract that Batrider.
Yeah, that's a really smart move actually from Rave. If you're going to first pick, or pick early, a hero like Batrider, getting the Vengeful Spirit with it is absolutely fantastic, because it immediately takes away one of the possible counters, and as well as that, a lot of heroes that can counter it, like Shadow Demon, quite often you don't want to pick Shadow Demon, especially with an Ogre, because you know, what are you setting up for? It's not like it's a difficult skill shot or anything. Sure, you can get bonus damage from it, but it's not super efficient. But instead they're going to get AA. They might just opt to avoid that. And with things like Blink Dagger on Slark and Magnus, it seems to me like the Prime are going to want to try and be as aggressive as possible early. Right now, I'm not super sure on it though, because it kind of feels a little bit gimmicky running Magnus and Ancient Apparition. Sure, you get a 5-man RP into a 5-man AA Ice Blast, you're going to kill everybody. Like, that's almost a guaranteed, right? But the rest of the time, if you get an RP, your follow-up is a Slark. It's a little bit awkward. Slark doesn't do that much damage to AoE. I mean, he's got Dark Pact, which is just a standard AoE nuke, nothing particularly special.
Yeah, I mean the Magnus RP into the Ice Blast, that would be quite a sick combination. The Ogre would also be happy about it, just because Ignite, for example, would hit everyone. But yeah, the problem is also on Rave's side, like if those heroes actually get through, they are quite tanky, I have to say. I mean, we have a Dusa absorbing pretty much like more than half of her HP pool as in mana. We have the Viper now, which doesn't care too much about magical damage because of corrosive skin. We have the Witch Dog as well. I don't know, with the Voodoo Restoration, he's gonna make that entire thing even more tankier. So RP and an Ice Blast might not even be enough, but of course the Ice Blast is definitely helping to, for example, counteract the Voodoo Restoration as well as other sources of healing. But let's see. I mean, the Viper will probably be the mech carry anyway, so disabling that plus the Voodoo Restoration, it's definitely nice. The Earthshaker is now even adding some more spice into that. So you've been talking about 5-man RPs, just imagine now Ice Blast and the Acro Slam, as well as of course AoE damage, Dark Pact, Ignite, like, well, the Shockwave is such from Magnus. If it actually works out, it's a wombo combo, absolutely crazy, but it needs quite some execution and a bit luck, and of course, yeah, Rave, they have to be in the right position. Either way, let's introduce them really fast. Just pick a side, whoever you want.
On the side of Rave, I'm going to go with, it's Jero here on the bottom lane, of course. He's going to be picking up that Medusa as the carry. One of the first of his supports is going to be Cast here. He's going to be on the Witch Doctor, looking like he's going to the bottom lane as well. Middle lane, it will be Rior on the Viper. And, well, Vengeful Spirit just hanging out over near the top rune here for the moment. It's going to be NB here. And last but not least, it will be Chrissy picking up that Batrider going onto the off lane.
Yep, and also in position for that rune, and maybe even some sort of backstabbing action, is at the moment Mr. Boo Boo, the one who was spamming so many emotes in the lobby. But let's see if he actually finds something. He needs some more friends, and they might be, for example, like Mist on the Ancient Apparition. We have, of course, done the Slark, but he's heading somewhere else at the moment. Monang. In the mid, we're gonna find Nefari, and of course, the last one on these is Y2K. But I'm not even sure. I think that Earthshaker is going somewhere else. He will just be blocking. But oh my god, Chrissy just found Boo Boo here, so he's completely locked in with a sticky napalm and everything. That should be quite easy. But now we have the Chilling Touch. And with that, it should be just easy to secure that first blood. Prime starting well into this game, and they're gonna get even a bounty rune on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a simple case of numbers going into that. The more numbers you have, especially boosted up with Chilling Touch level 1, absolutely brutal. And, you know, Boo Boo, it's almost like he let himself get caught, you know what I mean? Like, why not get caught in that situation? Because
it's a trap.
They're not, yeah, and they're not going to have 3 heroes as well, because you never put 2 other heroes with a Batrider. You maybe put 1 sometimes, but it's very rare even that.
What I don't like about this laning at the moment, I mean, I was wrong, the Earthshaker is actually in the core role, so they want to play a crit shaker, which is something I definitely like, something I play myself, and the viewers might know it from Weha, from Balkan Bears, like he's playing that quite often, but the problem is, it's not really working out against the Viper. Give this level 2 or level 3, and the Earthshaker will be driven out of lane fairly easy. The Magnus, oh never mind, we just missed the kill, top. I completely underestimated how much damage they have with Chilling Touch. The Batrider just going down to this, but to finish my train of thought there, yeah, Earthshaker, he's gonna have problems, while the Magnus, he could at least score out of this, and he wouldn't be in so much trouble. But still, the Prime starting off with a second kill here. Nice, nice.
Yeah, the Prime will get themselves a second kill, although, like you said, that Earthshaker is getting crushed in the middle lane right now. He did just manage to save himself with the salve here, and I gotta agree with you, this Earthshaker's gonna get crushed here. However, here's the decision they had to make. They had to say, it's either gonna be the Magnus, or it's gonna be the Earthshaker going into the middle lane. Now, they swapped it around instead from what you would normally have, taking out the Magnus and putting the Earthshaker here. The nice thing about this is that you don't hit Viper very often, so you're not hitting loads of
They want to go again.
Oh,
There's
God.
a Fire Blast, there is the Ignite, he's slowed. Of course he has Firefly, he can really go far away, but at the moment it looks like they might find him, but as soon as he's on high ground, nope, that won't be anything. But, well, we have to see. There are 2 stick charges. Maybe with the second Ignite he could do anything, but the Viper I say, the Batrider is going back to the fountain. Probably the best choice right now.
Yeah, they're going to continuously send in there as well. If they're not pulling, they're killing that Batrider every single time here. And, you know, despite the fact that... Sorry, I want to continue on this Earthshaker thing, because I think it's actually kind of a smart decision to put the Earthshaker here. because he's not going to be getting Fisher points, he's not going to be spamming out very often, unlike a Magnus would be, which means you're not actually proccing loads and loads of corrosive skin. The only thing you have to worry about is the fact that you're a melee hero going up versus a Viper, which always sucks, but what do the Prime have on their team? They have 4 melee heroes and an Ancient Apparition, who's never going to be going mid against a Viper because he'll instantly die.
Yeah,
So
might see
I think this is a smart
though.
choice.
Look, there's the stun. He will be slow. The Magnus needs to get in position to screw him back, but no, this won't happen. Jay was in the right position, so that didn't really happen. In the end, the Magnus is getting more damage than the whole harass was worth it. Cast, however, I don't know how he got there, but yeah, he was just put there, I think, by the Magnus before with the skewer, so he had to TP back.
Yeah, he must have got skewered up there, and it's just taken a while to get the TP scroll over there, which is probably the reason that Boo Boo came over there. Because, to be honest, it's pretty difficult to kill this Medusa. Already, she's picked up 2 points in Mana Shield, which is a lot at this stage of the game. Sure, she doesn't have that much stats, but it's a fair amount extra effective HP, and for the moment, now that the Ogre Magi has disappeared from this top lane, Chrissy has got himself a fair amount extra XP as well as gold, but he's still going to be struggling here. It's not going to be a very fast blink dagger for him by any stretch. He's going to be looking at the 12-minute plus mark at this rate.
Yep. So at the moment, if it comes to laning, Rave having a small advantage. I mean, the Stark, like, they got a kill there, sure, that's giving a tiny bit head start over Jo, but Jo is now free farming as well. The Magnus doesn't have too much lane presence because he's getting driven out by permanently either harassed by Cast or, of course, the Snake. The Mystic Snake is quite a nuisance to him as well. On the contrary, then we have, yeah, Nefari, this Earthshaker. Well, he gets the XP at least out of lane, but he has to be careful all the time against Viper, so I'm not quite sure if that really works out. However, we have the Vengeful Spirit swapping into the mid. Problem is there's an Ogre, so Vengeful Spirit, you don't want to be there at all. But he still has a smoke, and with that smoke, with the Witch Dog, he's level 3. And he even goes for a Maledict build, which is very rare. Usually we have a Voodoo Restoration build, but that might be the answer to the Ice Blast that will come soon at some point.
Yeah, and one thing to think about as well is the Prime. They have 4 strength melee heroes. I mean, technically Ogre's not actually a strength hero, but he has strength gain better than most strength heroes as well. So, given that the Ancient Apparition is in the team as well, there's not much point in taking the heal. A mech is even sometimes slightly inefficient. May as well take that extra damage there, because one thing that Rave do have is that otherwise their damage takes a long time to actually come out. Medusa's damage is reduced by the fact that she hits multiple people. Viper's damage takes a long time to go out as well. They need somebody to help boost that up there, which is what both the both the supports are actually able to do. Vengeful Spirit and Witch Doctor. So it's kind of an interesting choice.
Yeah, Nefari almost died here, and well, for him it's always bad news. I mean, that Viper Strike somehow got through. He's getting in position for the 6-minute rune, but he has to be careful. I mean, his haste rune is still active for quite a bit. That should be enough to grab the next rune, but he is so dependent on that bottle. Without the bottle, he's completely screwed against the Viper, but he's making level, and that's pretty much all that matters. He's even gonna get that bounty rune. And bottom we have, yeah, Vengeful Spirit with a double damage rune, which means, yeah, Magnus has to be super careful at the moment. He has a level 2 skewer, but if he somehow whiffs that, or if he gets like stunned in the process, that's always bad news.
Yeah, both these offlaners right now have been kind of screwed, though. Chrissy is actually picking up a lot of extra XP there.
Yeah, but he has to be careful. I mean, he's now fireflying somewhere that he can't get this, but yeah, Boom Boom managed to get a lot of XP here. That was like...
Chrissy. He's got himself trapped.
Oh.
So he's stuck for another 15 seconds. It's not too bad, but it's...
Cast could go there and out-tango him. Like, that's like one tree you have to remove that he gets out, but at the moment, Cast, is he coming? Blink, blink, blink? No, they're just gonna guard mid. But at the moment, it also looks like they put an observer ward here just to, I don't know, maybe get a chicken. Problem is, like, it's a flying one, so an Ogre alone won't manage this, and Boo Boo, it's kind of useless what he's doing. The Batrider, however, he's just waiting for the next Firefly, and that's pretty much it. I think he could have stacked somewhere else instead. Also, Cast could have helped him, but at least we have the mid camp in the Radiant jungle that's ready for the Batrider. So even without being on the lane, he's gonna find decent farm.
Yeah, it's pretty much a relatively slow game right now. There's some really smart warding coming out from both these teams, which is actually making it hard for the Prime especially to actually move around the map. They have this ward right here in the middle lane, so they see every time that Nefari is moving up to be aggressive, and you know, anytime Nefari is moving up to be aggressive on this lane, it's to throw a Fissure to start a kill, because otherwise it's pointless for him to throw Fissures. What's he going to use it for? Getting CS maybe? He doesn't particularly want to harass Rio because it does more damage to him. I mean, he just actually did it then, but I think he took more damage from it than he did to Rio there, so...
Oh well, we have to see. I mean, this Earthshaker, the build on the Earthshaker, oh well, we have an 8 minutes one, and the Vengeful actually managing to get this one. Only problem is he's getting stunned, this follow-up stun, now he's slowed, and this is really bad news, but Chrissy is coming in, of course, that is really bad news. They settled for the Vengeful Spirit kill, but now Chrissy is gonna get the revenge. However, like, actually the Magnus could have skewered him away, but in the end they just choose to settle for a 1-1 trade to not risk any further casualties. I guess that's kinda good. But I saw potential there, at least getting the Chrissy kill.
Yeah, I think they were being a little bit afraid there. They don't have too much mana, and one thing you never want to do is you don't want a fight to last particularly long versus a Batrider. At this stage of the game, the sticky napalm will absolutely screw you. You're not going to be able to turn around if you are in a bad position, and, you know, once you're in that bad position, you're not getting out of it. You have to stay there, you have to stand and fight whoever you're against, and they're just going to lose it. At this point, it's too much damage for them to deal with, and they just decide to not take it, but... The big problem right now that the Prime are having is that they're going to need an absolutely fantastic mid-game. It's pretty clear that Rave's lineup is going to be better late, because they have a Medusa, they can just walk it down one lane and take a Rax. It's very simple. Very late game.
I wouldn't underestimate like a crit Earthshaker. I mean, this Earthshaker is going for 4 stuff and Plink, and then going directly into a Daedalus, for example, and the damage is just sick. Like, if you have ever seen a crit shaker like played in a competitive game, the crits are just insane. Like, PA is one of those heroes who is like nothing in comparison, but at the moment we have an Ice Blast. It's flying into mid, and maybe that's the goal they want to look for. There's the Echo Slam. The Fissure is not enough mana. That's really bad news at the moment. Rio, he doesn't really care, and he's just going around for Nefari, but at the moment, does he get the last right click? And it doesn't seem like it, but at the moment, Boo Boo, the Magic Missile will just finish it. So this was the first attempt to go in there, but the problem is Echo Slam, it just didn't do anything, because there was like, what, 1 or 2 creeps in range. If it was a full creep wave, maybe.
Yeah, and as well as that, the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, it doesn't land. Part of that is because Rio, every time he sees that Nefari is being aggressive on him, he knows that it's for no other reason than to try and get a kill. And that's exactly that situation that happened there. So Rio just moved further up, because the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is more likely to be around the mid lane, the middle of the lane, rather than, you know, underneath your own tower. And because of that, they're able to get a pretty easy kill.
We have a go here. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast was actually up on the Vengeful Spirit. Now Rio, he's not getting any tower hits anymore, so Nefari, nope, they gonna just finish it right there. That was even Corrosive Skin just doing the trick, and both of them escape with super low HP, because Boo Boo was dead. Like, with it just the Ignite on him or anything, that might have been at least 1 kill, but no, Prime, they just gonna lose that Shaker. It's not really working out as it was planned originally.
Yeah, one of the issues with the Prime's whole lineup is that execution actually has to be very good in it. With Rave, you jump on somebody with a Batrider and you pull them out. It's very simple. You blink right on top of them and you click lasso on. Whereas the Prime, they have to get the right situations. They have to land the Ancient Apparition's Ice Blast. And there are a lot of melee heroes. They're not as mobile as the side of Rave are right now. When they get all of their blink daggers, sure, they're going to be, but they're not able to farm up towards those blink daggers yet. Y2K here, the offlaner, he's just got arcane.
They still might go for the slug. There's 2 seconds on the... Never mind, they just went back, but Rio did really a good job. He baited out that pounce and then wanted to go for something, but unfortunately Dark Pact was removing pretty much the slow, and that was enough to just get away. However, we have Chrissy with a blink dagger bottom lane. That might be something.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to go here. They don't have too much in the way of damage, but they do have that that maxed out Mystic Stake there, so they can nuke this guy pretty hard. Magnus, yeah, should be killed by that, but it looks like he's disappearing off to go do something else at the moment.
Yeah,
he has got a
problem is his next objective, and also we must not forget the fact that he does not have RP yet, so the Batrider is blinking in, wanted to get that rune, but Chrissy He just notices, damn, the rune is gone, Vengeful Spirit won't find anything, but they want to go on mid. With those illusions and everything, I'm pretty sure they want to push the tower. It will end up being a tower trade pretty much, because top, they're gonna force this one. However, well, we have no cliff available, so this tier 1 tower, it's pretty much dead. In the mid we actually have a cliff, and if they rotate, we might see something. There's an Ice Blast flying, it's towards the mid, it's slowing it a tiny bit down, but eventually I don't think they can do much, not with the Earthshaker alone.
Yeah, and the Earthshaker only has 1 point in the Fissure as well, so 125 damage, not exactly going to be crushing the creep waves right now.
Yep,
they have even picked up a point in the Voodoo Restoration.
Yep, they found the Magnus bottom, like what we were expecting all the time, and this time with the Magic Missile, that just finished him off there easily. And the tower in the mid, losing tons of HP. Well, the Slug is at least working on the tier 2 tower, but so are Jo and Chrissy at the moment. Like Rave, when it comes to tower trades, to objectives, way better. And well, you also see the net worth. The Slug is the only one at the moment keeping up in the net worth. Like the Magnus and the Earthshaker, so far no impact on this game. It's not really working out what they originally planned to do, and we're entering mid game, which means the plays have to come out now to actually justify a Earthshaker mid.
Yeah, it's gotta all be about how they manage to get their plays off, how they manage to crush people. If they get good combos this game, it's gonna be absolutely brutal. Even just the Magnus RP and the Earthshaker's Echo Slam is going to do a ton of damage. They have great follow-up for it as well. They're pretty good chase as well. That's a big thing to think about. If they start winning the fight, they're likely going to be able to get a hold of everyone.
Oh, bottom. There's the Blinkin on the Vengeful Spirit. Ice Blast hit before. That's an easy kill on the Slark. Like in panic mode, actually. He's just going for that Shadow Dance. I don't think that was even necessary, but, well, it's just a short cooldown anyway, so why not using it? So, nice little kill there, and that puts Prime 1 kill ahead. However, we have to look at the crafts for the first time, and Rave, with all these towers, and of course a better lane presence, they are 2k ahead in experience, 3k ahead in gold. Let's see, we have a smoke in the mid. Chrissy is looking for something to put that dagger to use, and he might find Boo Boo here, but oh, they have vision on him. There's the first multicast here. Nefari wants to go in. They use instantly the max, so he's healed up, but they still can't find Boo Boo. Problem is, there's the Magnus count from the side as well as the Ice Blast. No direct hit, however, and at the moment Nefari is just getting kited. Boo Boo being super low, but at least the Slark is gonna get some sort of consolidation prize here, but that's it. And now the turnaround will happen. Boo Boo actually getting tons of damage himself just by the corrosive skin. He might even die. Yeah, he dies from corrosive skin just because he decided to go for that ignite on the Viper. That was really a bad decision. And now, well, the Slark, he still has Stick and Blink Dagger, making it out. In the end, this is a 2-for-1 trade, but yeah, that Orchid Death didn't have to be.
Yeah, and part of the issue right now is that they just weren't able to kill anyone that fast. They got the 1 kill, and right now they lack damage because they haven't got that much in the way of XP, they haven't got that much in the way of gold either. They need to start ramping up, and they need to throw as much as they can into one solid fight. And that was part of the reason, I think, why the Slark used the Shadow Dance top, is that they needed the guaranteed kill, because they could feel the game slowly slipping away from them. They know the lanes haven't gone particularly well other than top, so you get a guaranteed kill, you get something that you know is going to work on one of your core heroes, and that gives you that little bit of extra gold boost. After that fight now, though, not only Rave overall ahead, also the most farmed hero is on their side, which before that fight it wasn't. Before that fight, yeah, Slark was the most farmed hero, so he was the guy to really bring it back for them. And
well, the Vipers at the moment really
close,
the cockblock hero for all of them. That's the problem. Like, their magical burst is not really effective, of course, against Rio, and he has the mech now. He's quite tanky, running around with like 15 armor, and the only one who can like really kill him easily is the Slark, but he also needs quite some time, quite some ascent shift, and well, while all this is happening, Jo is working towards... Oh, never mind that, we found the Nefari in the bottom lane, and he's standing in fire. The magic missile doesn't make it any better. The flame break eventually just killing him off, securing that one. But yeah, it's really bad news. This Earthshaker, he's not getting into the game at all. It's just not finding anything. Like this Viper pick for the mid, or this Earthshaker even putting him in the mid, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's really a big struggle for him, because right now he has no way of getting on top of anybody and doing lots of damage, and he doesn't have that many items either. So, I mean, Belt of Strength, I guess that's a bit of damage that he's going to get, but that's about it. The one thing that he does have going into their favor is that Y2K's picked up his Blink Dagger right now, and a good RP is
Yeah.
absolutely game changing. A great RP is 100% game winning. No,
And we haven't had one yet. That's the biggest problem. So we're 17 minutes in, but yeah, Blink they get acquired. RP is there. It's even a level 2 RP, and we have to see what they find. They want to focus on Jo, I guess, and that should be an easy kill if they find him. Let's RP, screw back. We have, of course, Ignite as well as Fire Blast, but we have someone else coming there. The Viper's in range. This is really bad news. But let's see. At the moment they're still smoked. They haven't seen him. And top, it would be a 4 versus 2 situation. And it's like, it's already in position. But it seems like they're hesitant. Like, why 2K? He's just not coming. He's the one who needs to initiate this. But by the time they come and respond, nope, it's too late. Now they are scouted out by Wave of Terror. So they know something is going on.
Yeah, they've been running around underneath.
But they found here the RP just on Cast, pulling him back. The Ice Pass will be off, but Cast, I don't know if he still survives. Yeah, he will survive. This Skewer just actually helped the enemy team because he just dragged him out of that Ice Blast. That was really bad news, and now, whoa, the Slark surviving with just 75 HP. But this was bad execution by the Prime. Really bad execution, playing more or less against each other here.
Yeah, the biggest issue there was that they knew what they wanted to do, but they just got a little bit scared of it. You know, they had 2 people smoked up, they saw the Viper, they didn't see, well, they kind of assumed the Viper was there even, because I don't think they actually got vision of the Viper. But they knew that the Medusa was there, and they just assumed that there was 4 other people behind him, that he was an unassailable target, and in reality, there was a Viper and a Medusa. Nobody else was in range, the tower's way far back from them as well, so any TPs are going to be late. They could have already got those 2 kills if they'd have just jumped as soon as possible, got the RP off, thrown everything in. Instead, they got a little bit scared, they got a little bit worried, they were like, this feels slightly wrong. They can't afford that luxury. Their team needs to do as much damage as possible right now, because otherwise, they're not really coming back into this game. It looks like Earthshaker is actually making sure that he does get this Blink Dagger now, but, you know, even then, he's still just going to be a Blink Echo Slam for them when he was meant to be a really core hero. That's like a support version.
We have the Duza farming a nice little like ancient stack that was a, I don't know, a quadruple stack, so his farm will increase even more. He took over the lead now, or actually he just got surpassed by Rio, but Rio, of course, he decided to go for a Midas eventually. It's already ticking for I don't know how many minutes on him, and that means we have pretty much the Arcana Scepter almost done on him, and from there on, like, the spam of the Viper Strike gets real. This is really bad news. Like, Prime at the moment, they try to do something in their jungle, but you said it earlier, like, they need to make something happen in mid game, and now that they have that Blink initiation, I don't see why they just don't go for it. That 1 RP, it completely failed. The Slark at the moment is the best farmer for the Prime, and I think they need to do something. Maybe he's gonna get at least the tier 1 tower. Glyph being used, but I don't think there's any response. Maybe Chrissy actually could do something. Chrissy finding a Slark plus a TP rotation might do the trick, but he's going back. He's not feeling comfortable in this bottom lane here.
Yeah, the Prime really need to just go for a 5-man smoke. Guarantee yourself some kills, especially on some of these big important heroes for Rave. The Viper or the Medusa, you kill off either of those, you're instantly got a fair amount going back into this game, because the Medusa is very hard to go aggressive on.
There's a smoke. It's a 4-man smoke. Plus, yeah, there's the Slark. Hopping in. Pounce is already there. Ice Pass will hit. But Chrissy is in there. But this time, this was bad. This was Echo Slam and the RP at exactly the same time. So we have a 5 versus 2 situation at the moment. But Jayo seems to go in. There's the swap here and the ultimate up. So Y2K is already going down. And look at that beautiful death ward at the moment. It's doing so much damage. Cast is not going down. However, the Fisher here of Nefari is going to finish the entire thing. Make that a 3-for-3 trade. It's, I guess, okay-ish.
I mean, 3-for-3 when you're behind is good.
Yeah.
That's a fight you'll have to take. It's kind of bad that Jair gets it, but yeah, especially because the Viper died. That's the big one. You killed off the person with the most gold, you get the most gold back. That's pretty much how it's going to work for them. So it's worth it. The one problem is that they got a little bit cocky and went straight into Stone Gaze, and they didn't realize that there was a Lincoln Sphere up on the Medusa, because actually the Ogre Magi, he threw out his Fire Blast first and then tried to follow it with an Ignite.
No, the problem is he didn't have a stun
formed.
for the Death Ward. The Death Ward just channeled through. That was actually what eventually killed the Slark, and the Slark didn't have the Shadow Dance left anymore for this fight. Like the Shadow Dance and a stun on the Witch Dog on the Death Ward, that would have made a complete difference. Maybe a 3-4 trade here in the favor for Prime. In the end, the problem is Jo survived. I mean, Rio is buying the time Jo needs. Jo survives those fights, and right now I just don't see it happening, like a kill on him, because they need initiation on him right now. They have to bring him down. That's like a mana pool of almost 900 with a level 4 mana shield. Like, you need a lot of burst damage to get him down. If he gets his Stone Gaze through, there's nothing you can do against it. So, let's see. At least Nefari is finally getting somehow into the game with a Blink Dagger and whatnot, and I think we're gonna see a new smoke pretty much soon. Where is it? Someone has the smoke. No, never mind. No, it's not coming.
Even without a smoke, they should be trying to be as aggressive as possible. The very least you can do is try a bit of dewarding and then run through the areas that you've dewarded to try and get some ganks. They need those off right now. That said, the big rule here for them is that, oh, Medusa's stone gazed, run away. Their team is very good at engaging and then disengaging and re-engaging. They have a Slark on their team, one of the best heroes at doing that. You jump in, you decide the fight is bad, you press R. It doesn't matter what the enemy team is going to do now. It doesn't matter what they commit to it. They aren't killing you. And
well,
you're
they can get you in trouble at least. I mean, if the RP is actually coming out with the Acro Slam and everything we've seen before, like if that execution is quite right, then the Duza is of course in trouble. But of course, so far we haven't seen that kind of execution yet. There will be Ice Blast flying top, but it's not going to stop them from killing that tier 2 tower. The trade is really not successful because Slark, even though he's empowered, like he's just not having the same pushing power. So by the time Rave could even go for a tier 3 tower and forcing them just back, the Slark managed 50% on the entire thing. That's about it. Oh, but Nefari, he wants to go in on Jo. There's the RP, but man, this is just not the fight you want to. Nefari, he's gonna go down just because the tower is even helping there, while Jo is clubbing him with, I don't know, arrows. But wow, that is bad news. This is really bad news. These initiations of Prime, they're just not working out.
Yeah, half a second too late on the RP. If he'd have jumped and done it immediately, if he'd have done it as soon as that they saw that he wasn't using Stone Gaze, brilliant. That's your opportunity.
Maybe they're gonna get the kill here. Like, the Shadow Dance is already up. Cast is of course in trouble. Yes, he's going down. Problem is, of course, Rio is now blocking the escape route of the Slark, and oh my god, the pounce was not enough to go high crown, so in the end, that was also not worth it. Your top farmer for a support, nope, that's also not how you do it. And that pretty much means with the Slark down, they can just go for the tower and mid. Even with the Slark, RP is down. The only thing we have would be the Acro Slam and Ice Blast combination, but at this point it also doesn't seem enough.
Yeah, and we've seen that they can execute it as well. They managed to get it on bottom lane. They've got the 2 people. As the way their lineup works is it doesn't matter the numbers. In fact, if there's more of the enemy caught in the RP, great, you do more damage because you have Echo Slam. But in that situation, they're trying to get these small little things there, and nice play from Rio as well, blocking that Slark. Anytime that you have an opportunity where the Slark can be hit by something that he's not able to do anything about, he hasn't got Shadow Dance up, if you can block him and force him to fight you, in that case the Viper's going to crush him. That's exactly what we saw there. He wasn't
scouted here with the Ice Blast, making sure they're not going to go for a Roshan. The timing would have been actually quite nice, because we have, of course, here on the Vengeful Spirit a Medallion, and then all that damage plus a Medallion on... This is still level 1 Roshan. This is a Virgin Roshan. It would die so fast, but Rave, they play 100% safe here, which is... Yeah, to be honest, something they had to learn. Like Rave, when I started to cast them like some month ago, when they formed, they were quite, I don't know, young and wild and whatnot, but now they're really doing just standard plays, and it's looking good. So Roshan is what they do right now after the Ice Blast is down. I mean, it's up again, but maybe they don't suspect him. Even with the Ice Blast, I don't think they can stop this. It doesn't even look like they have the intention to.
If they're going to try and stop this, they have to use everything perfectly at the right time, and now that the AA Ice Blast is down, that's 40 seconds, they can't, so they have to get the hell out of there, especially because Jo, he's just picked up an Iascardi as well, so anybody that doesn't have an escape is in a lot of trouble. 2 of their heroes can slow people on auto attacks already, the Viper and this...
they might find them. Oh, what this is bad news. They're gonna find the Magnus, that's number 1. That Fisher won't even help, and now he's just dragged into the trees. There's no way to escape, and the entire Prime lineup, they, go west, that's what they do at the moment, just away, and then TP out, or maybe even push it to your 2 tower, finish it off. or maybe even that siege engine is gonna do it. However, Rave, I don't think they care about their tier 2 tower. They might just pressure the tier 3, forcing them in back. But they have to be careful. I mean, in 30 seconds the Magnus is back, and now we have all ultimates. All you're looking for. The wombo combo we've been talking about, it might happen here on this tier 3 push.
Yeah, it's got to be good positioning here from the side of Rave. Cass needs to be relatively close, but you can see already the Ice Blast is going to come through. Doesn't actually catch very many of them, though. So this is going to be a really hard fight from the Prime here to defend this. And if they don't defend this, that's a Rax down too early to deal with. With the Medusa on the team, it's only going to get worse as well.
Well, at the moment they're Jo is absolutely not impressed.
Out
He's taking the tower and everything, but let's see, they're gonna fish for something. But Rave knows it. Rave, they know exactly, like, guys, we're not grouping up, just letting Jo tank. He has Aegis and is super tanky as such, but at least they screw him back under the tier 4 towers, and if he stands still, he's also getting stunned, but there's the swap out. However, well, Stone Gaze activated, the Slark is hopping in, cast and the Ice Blast, that should do the trick, but what we need is a big fat RP, and there it is! But still, all that damage, it's just missing. The Slark is dying from the next Maledict tick, and Jo is still standing. Nefari, he's trying to do something on Jo, but if he kills him, that will only translate into the Aegis loss, but at the moment he's not even losing this one. So it's a 2-for-2 trade right now, but Jo standing and shooting, going for it. Another Skewer under the tier 4 towers, and this should be finally the Aegis off, but the Magnus, he has to pay for this insolence already. Rior, well, the Ogre has to TP from there to his fountain. That's of course really bad news. Chrissy, the last two should be ready, so right now the Prime, whoever comes too close, Chrissy will take them.
Yeah, and that fight is a classic example of the execution started to come right for them. The Prime have been able to do that, but it's easy to do the execution when you're defending the base, but you need to do it before that. You need to get fantastic RPs, you need to land the Ice Blasts on the top with the Echo Slam follow-up. If they'd have done that 5 minutes before, you know, even just then, this game would probably be in their favor. They'd have a lot of momentum, they'd be able to start moving forward. As it stands, they lose Rax despite everything. And, you know, what do they gain? They got the Aegis, they did force out a buyback on the Batrider, I believe, but that's not really worth that much because the Batrider he's still got more net worth than most of their team.
Yeah, absolutely, and the graphs are supporting what you're saying right now. Like, when it comes to experience, Rave has now a 14k lead, and gold is pretty much about the same, just 2k less. Well, I mean, the mid-rex is the lane where you can do a pretty easy defense, so it's not like the end of the world, but still, like, the biggest problem is Jo at the moment. Rio and Jo, I said it in the draft already, they will be super tanky at some point, and 30 minutes we already have that. Right now, all the resources have to go in just a single kill, but we don't even see that. However, Chrissy top, come on, fish for that lasso. There's a... Well, never mind that, the Slark actually finds Initian further, but he's just swapping him out. There's no Dark Pack to remove all this. Like, Eventual is going down. Nefari, well, with the BKB, he's getting out, but the problem is, yep, Chrissy now finally coming in. However, there is the RP. It's not getting the Batrider, but they get Jo, and Jo at the moment with Ice Blast and everything. Let's see, Chrissy is definitely going down. There's also a gem on the ground. Jo still hitting, split arrow. Oh my god, Slark, they're not gonna get this. It's a full 5-man wipe, and Jo is surviving with 300 HP, and that's also the GG call. I guess that's the best conclusion out of this fight.
Yeah, that was a really nicely executed fight. Rave fought back pretty well, but the fact is they had way more in the way of items. The Slark is miles behind the Medusa at this point. She has a Skadi on top of things. He has a drum and a blink, and that's pretty much it for him. They're not doing enough damage at this point. He has picked up a Skadi actually, but it's not a huge amount of damage, and that's the problem, is they weren't able to finish them off there. And Medusa is an incredibly tanky hero. I mean, we just saw it in that fight. She was right in the middle of it the whole time. She hasn't died a single time this game, other than to use an Aegis, but you virtually used it on purpose.
Number 1, guys, which means we have a best of 3 series here at hand. That means Prime gets one more chance to actually strike here at Rave, or Rave is gonna finish this 2-0, but we're gonna find this out in just some minutes. We're swapping to the waiting screen, some music, and then lobby number 2 will be up, so hang in there, guys. Be right